Welcome to the Unofficial Steelers Podcast, the podcast so unofficial it doesn't have a home. Here's your host, from In Hindsight, Nathan Heintz. From Steelers Nation Australia, Mark Davidson. And from State of the Steelers, Daniel J. Here we go.
What is up, Steeler fans? Welcome back to the Unofficial Steelers Podcast, the podcast so unofficial it doesn't have a home. And today on this week in this preview show, it lands on State of the Steelers on my show. Hope everybody's having a fantastic time. Here with me, as always, Mark Davidson from Steelers Nation Australia. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing pretty well, mate. Just had a good interview with It's Yinsberg, the highlight dude, Tyler, on my channel, so it was fantastic. He's a good fella, but like I said to him, there's not many highlights going on right now, so it's, his stock is falling. But no, it's pretty fun, man. It's pretty fun talking Steelers, and I'm pretty keen for today because I think we're going to be hopefully pretty pumped up to get this, positive vibes flowing from a few things going on. But I think we can win this game. I really do.
For sure. What about you? With me as always as well, Nathan Heintz from In Hindsight. How you doing, Nathan?
Pretty good. It's temperature's finally dropping here, so got the hoodie on. It's pretty cold, it's rainy, but it's that time of year, and I'm ready for it. Yes, still sir. Fall, so I'm still just kind of enjoying it, man. Just kind of enjoying it. Now the snow, I like a little bit of it. But when it gets a little out of hand, all right, see you later.
Yeah, I hear you on that one, man.
We're doing good, though. Don't know why I went on a tangent on that, but we're doing good.
What's snow? I've never heard of snow.
It doesn't happen too often out here in Texas either. It dropped down. I think today was like in the 50s maybe, and everybody was with their coats and ready to rock and roll in that way. So we got some breaking news that happened. We got some breaking news that happened a little bit earlier today. Minkah and Will Jackson III will not be participating in this game. Minkah apparently has appendicitis. He's not going to be playing tomorrow. William Jackson placed on IR, so we're not going to see him for 4 games. We'll start off with you, Nate. What were your thoughts on the breaking news here?
That's kind of disappointing not being able to see him out there. I don't really know how long something like this will keep him out for, but hopefully it's not more of a long-term type deal. So I guess this will be a good opportunity for Damontae Kazee to kind of settle in and see kind of what they do with him. I'm sure we'll probably see some Trey Norwood. But still, this is something where, yes, sucks Minkah's out, but this is still something they should still win this game. I don't care what anybody says. Even if Minkah's not playing, this is still a game they should win.
No, I agree. What about you, Mark? Did you get caught off guard by the news? Kind of came out of nowhere, so to speak, for both players.
Well, I was trying to think about who's going to be cut. What player was going to be cut for TJ. I didn't realize it was going to be one of these two players, or even Jackson going on the IR. Right, you go and sign a guy, he goes on IR. So that kind of means just like it's a kind of a nothing play. I think it costs a little bit of money here and there, but it does suck with Minkah. But that's been the whole season, and I think a lot of seasons in the NFL. These guys, to a certain degree, the starters are great, but you do need a bit of depth, and the depth we have now is Trey Norwood and Kazee coming back from injury. You would have liked to see Minkah and Terrell and Kazee all out there together. We haven't seen that package yet, which we were promised to see. Of course, with the pass rush too. But TJ coming back is fantastic, right? I think a lot of games TJ is gonna win it by himself. Pretty much the sack in the fourth quarter, sack in the third quarter, forced fumble. He will be running down Andy Dalton. I believe he's starting from the get-go, and that's going to help our team 100%. And I'm more confident winning this game, and I don't want to see him tank or whatever. But it's going to be it is pretty. It does suck. Like Minkah out there, he's a guy too. So, but hey man, fresh off the bye, I want to see some change. Like I've got my score near the end of the show. I already gave it away on a few other shows. It's pretty high. I want to see him go out there and smash him. Like I'm kind of sick of this heart attack mentality of like we're here in the game, let him stick around. I want to see him go out there and just win like the Buffalo Bills do versus teams or Chiefs. Beat them.
Right. No, exactly. And to see this team play a full game is something that I'm looking forward to. It's one of my complaints that I've said, all season to this point is that the team hasn't played a full 60-minute game. They've had quarters where they flashed or halves where they did well and just completely fallen out of it in the second half or outside of one quarter. And so it would be nice to see a collection of these players getting it all together. But speaking of IR, Boz earlier this week went to the IR. I had a show audio only platform on Behind the Steel Curtain that aired today called Can the Steelers Get Right? And at the end of it, I talked about getting right with Matthew Wright. What is y'all's level of confidence with the new field goal kicker and Boz being out for at least the next 4 weeks? We'll start off with you, Mark, on that one.
Pretty much, like my confidence level is just a normal average, right? I don't expect him to go out there and win games like Boswell does. There's no pressure. I think for this team to go and win games, they've got to score points, and that's TDs. We should be seeing Matthew Wright kicking extra points, not field goals. However, he's hit a few 50s. I think with the Chiefs this year, he hit a few. And he's been, I think, with the Jags last year. And of course, he was with the Steelers before that. So he's customized to our Steelers. But Boswell's out for 4 weeks. And Boswell is one of the leading scorers on this team. So will Canada's offense put Wright in the best position to score points from 45 yards out? Can he do that? If he misses field goals, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. For sure. Right? If he's not making the 45s, 47s, like Boswell's pretty much money to a certain degree. Now, Tomlin does put him in situations where it is 55 or 59 yards, and he got one of them right. But sometimes you put him out there against the wind, and Boswell shouldn't be kicking that certain kick, and it makes his percentage look worse because I think he's put him in that certain situation. But Wright will do okay. It just depends. Can the Steelers go out there and score points? And I think with this defense coming back, and it's like, I'm pretty optimistic after the bye. I reckon treat it with a clean slate. Right now, just remind yourself you're 0-0 because you know any of the playoffs. Just be 0-0 and go win this game.
Right, exactly. What about you, Nathan? How are you concerned about the field goal kicker Matthew Wright, and how long Boz is going to be out?
I think to a certain extent, Matthew Wright's been here before, so he's a little acclimated with some of the coaching, some of the guys. He did a pretty good job, from what I understand, filling in for Harrison Butker when he was out for 3-4 weeks also on the Chiefs. But Mark's completely right. The Steelers cannot be relying on Matthew Wright, heck, even Chris Boswell, to be scoring these points. Got to get the touchdowns that we haven't seen this first half of the season. Got to clean the slate, and you have to execute. You do. Now, Matthew Wright, if it comes to the situation where he's got to come out and kick a field goal, I don't really have much of a concern. I think maybe if it gets a little longer, because we know Chris Boswell has more times than not hits those. So Matthew Wright, I can't really sit here and say I'm all acclimated in the sense of how strong his leg is, what's his longest, in terms of consistency when it comes to how many yards he's kicking from, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so 87.5% for Matthew Wright. It's one of those things. Like, dude, all right, he's here 4 weeks. He's been here before. You got to score the touchdowns. And then you won't really have that problem. If it comes to the point he's got to kick somewhere in the 40s or something like that, maybe a very sharp 50, okay. But when it comes to longer than that, it might kind of be something like that. Maybe some type of concern, because I don't really know how strong his leg is, but that's what it's got to be. It's got to be touchdowns, man. Got to be.
He's only missed 4 field goals. I'm going for his stats now. He's missed 4 field goals in the NFL. He's 28 for 32, 87.5%. 20 for 29, he's 8 for 8. 30 for 39, he's 9 for 9. 40 for 49, he's 6 for 8. And 50 plus, he's 5 for 7. Longest 59. Extra points, he's 28 for 30. That to me is a pretty good kicker.
Yeah.
He should be okay. He should be fine. But in reality, whoever comes in, you got to go and score points. Go and score touchdowns. Matt Canada, go and do something. We can't win this game 9-0, which we might.
Dude, don't put the Steelers out of winning 9-0 with TJ Watt.
That'd be cool, man.
Oh man, yeah, that's quite a possibility. But I think things change. have y'all heard the expression addition by subtraction? And
Yep.
I think that's something we might see with the recent trade away of Chase Claypool. I think there's a possibility.
Oh no, did he leave? That's news
He
to
did
me.
leave.
Oh
He did
no.
leave.
There it
Oh,
is.
fuck,
There
that
it is.
sucks,
There
man.
it is.
Yeah, he did
Oh.
leave. And so, I think it's one of
Jeez.
those situations where it could potentially increase the targets to George Pickens and thus increase the chemistry there. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Also, I think that the guy that takes over the passes over the middle is Pat Freiermuth, and I think he does an excellent job at doing so, and has great hands.
Here's a new game. Who am I?
the artist formerly known
Yeah.
as Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool.
How long can I pick on him for? Till the end of November? Or
Oh man, I mean
he called out the offense though. He called out Canada, and I think they're both stooges. Like honestly,
what did he say about Matt Canada? I heard something about it.
They weren't going deep. He said they weren't going deep. His direction, they go deep once a game or something like that. And even if that's the case, they go deep once a game, catch the damn ball. Didn't do it.
Yeah,
couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, I saw something about that. But I didn't. I don't know. I didn't look at it too in depth to see where the call out was. But I think that's you're going to see, my opinion, more passes to Pat Freiermuth, more passes to George Pickens. In y'all's opinion, who do you think benefits more from the loss of Chase Claypool? We'll start off with you, Nathan.
Both, dude. It's just so dumb, dude. Like whenever you see Pickens and Freiermuth, their amount of targets, especially when you look in that Eagles game, like as bad as it was, but still, like George Pickens was targeted like three times. Matt Canada did come out and say that they got to feed George more, Pat more, and we will see that with Claypool being gone too. I don't know. I kind of maybe lean a little more toward, more toward George Pickens, just because him and Kenny, they've done I'd say at least up to now, like he's done a pretty good job at trying to feed him when he's been able to. Their connection really hasn't been that bad. If you look at least from when Kenny Pickett has started compared to now and George Pickens' stats. Yeah, I mean that's all I got now right there. Freaking Z, give Calvin Austin a chance when he's healthy. He's out for the year.
Yeah, he had surgery.
Idiot. That's my friend, actually, by the way. So it's not me just crapping on.
I was like, calm down, bro. These
are people in our live chat, man.
He's a Ravens fan, by the way, chat. So if you guys want to give Zach there some crap,
give it to him.
He's a Ravens fan. But I agree. I think both. I think we'll definitely kind of see that both. Not sure how much we'll see it in this game, but I think as the second half goes on, we're going to see both. But nonetheless, I think George, man, they really got to target him 10, 11 times, man. And especially against Saints defense, no Marshawn Lattimore. They haven't been the defense that they were expected to be this season either. And give them opportunities. Give them opportunities, one-on-ones. Heck, even if you're at the 20, 10-yard line, man, throw a freaking fade back there to him if he's one-on-one with somebody. Give him those jump balls. He's shown he can grab those things. So I'm excited to kind of see that aspect of. I think there's a lot that like Chase Claypool, but like what you said, Daniel, there were a lot of mouths to feed, and now since you kind of take that aspect away, it should set up some more opportunities for both of them. So hopefully they implement them pretty well. I hope.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully we'll see how that works out. What about you, Mark? Who do you think benefits the most on this offense by the addition of subtraction with Claypool?
I thought you were going to say who benefits the most on this podcast because it's me. So I was right. Right for once. Finally. He stinks.
About time.
I really hate him, mate. Like, if I ever meet him in person, I'm going to TikTok and then punch him in the head. No, I'm not going to do that. I won't do that. Sorry, Chase, won't do that. Is that assault? Do I just get? Am I going to court now in America? I'll probably go to court.
That is a threat. That is a threat.
No, honestly, he's gone. Right, he's gone. He's doing his thing over there. But I think he had about 40% of the offense was going his way, right? Mm-hmm. And he wasn't making the catches in the right times. Sure, he played some good stuff here and there, threw a touchdown. But this offense now has to go towards Pickens. It has to. And then getting Muth involved too. And I don't understand why they aren't getting Connor Hayward involved. The guy can play. The guy can play tight end number 2, tight end number 3, get him in motion, get him in play action, get him the ball, get him out of the backfield too, right? And I believe they should also, he won't. There's no way his hands are going in my head.
But when he falls, his legs.
Yeah,
go up.
I've just never seen a guy fall that way so much in my life. Like anyway, he's bad. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Anyways, so Connor Hayward, I think he needs to get involved too, right? But we keep saying these things, right? Get Najee involved in the passing game, this kind of stuff. But it all depends on how the offense is going to flow, you know? And I want to see some deep shots to Pickens where you at least test the defense, push him out of the way, so the box isn't full of 8 defenders running down the sorry, I got distracted by Zach's question. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Zach asked, did Mark win the pickleball?
Geez.
In fact, if
something you'll never see,
Steelers,
something you'll never
Chase
see.
Claypool sucks. Claypool sucks.
If the Steelers win and score more than 20 points offensively, Mark has announced it that he's going to do the Kirk Cousins with his gold medal live on Steelers Nation Australia. So make sure you subscribe to his channel so you can see that. You can see that.
I did not announce that, but they're not going to score more than 20. So.
Then put it on the line, bro. Put it on the line. The Steelers score.
You know
more
what?
than
No,
20.
I put my channel on the line last year when I said if TJ Watt doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year, I was going to delete it, and I was going to. Lucky I didn't.
Yeah.
Lucky you won it. You can't win it this year.
Well, you never know. I mean, I think the what is it, like 7, 8 sacks, something like that's what the leading sack leader is right now.
You think
he has
come back?
2.5?
He does too. Can he come back? Well, if he gets 3 this game, right? That's 5.5. He's right back in it. If he wins Defensive Player of the Year again, oh my. Oh.
I don't know if they'll give it to him because of that. Just even if he becomes the sack leader, I think that they'll probably look at a cornerback, maybe a middle linebacker that's dominating or something like that. If the sacks are low, but I could see him being the sack leader, even though he's that far behind, because all his favorite teams are coming up. He's got the Bengals, he's got Andy Dalton, he's got the Ravens twice and the Browns again. So those are games right there that he typically probably have multiple sacks in. So that's about
also
8 sacks right there.
Panthers too, the Falcons as well.
Yeah.
There's some who's playing for the Falcons? Are they playing Ritter?
No, it's still Mariota. And it's I was watching it the game this past weekend, Thursday night, and that Mariota guy, I'm glad the Steelers didn't go after him.
Right.
I saw some people clamoring for him in the offseason. I'm like, absolutely not.
I saw a fake. I had to delete it. It was NFL and memes. He got arrested, and I was like, I had to delete this. I thought it was real. I had to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's insane, man. There's some of the stuff that's out there, especially right now. That whole blue checkmark thing is going crazy.
Can't you just buy a check mark now or something? Like,
yeah. You can buy whoever you are, and that's it. That's it. You can be whoever you want to be that day. And
what about Steven Sims? What do you guys think about him getting a more elevated role?
He's got a big chance.
I think he's a guy that
pass, man.
Oh, for sure. I think he's a guy. I'm not sure about his hands over, deep down the ball, down the field, but he's definitely a guy I would like to get in the jet sweep game or in that misdirection or get him in the screen game, RPO type of thing. Get him in the ball early and let him move around and get through the defense. But I'm looking forward to it. Do you guys think he returns one to the house this game? He's been close a couple times.
I know he's got to pull one out. I feel like that's who was it? God, who was returning kicks that one year? That was
Ray.
He's got it. What? It might have been Ray McLeod the other year. I don't.
He was so close, but he stuffed up. He went to the left when he should have went right.
What?
He was to the house. Ray was to the house last year, and he just didn't think about it, and he almost bumped into someone when he could have went right to the house. Is that the guy?
Yeah. I don't know. I would love to see him be able to get. I don't care, man. If he can get him in some good field position off a couple returns, it'd be great. But hey, if he took one to the house, I mean, when's the last one When's the last time that the Steelers returned one? Was it Deontay Johnson in 2019?
Deontay Johnson, I think, against the Cardinals. I was in that. I was at the stadium in that game. Not in the game, but I was at the game. I was present.
It has to be a punt return, though, right? It can't be anything else because it can't be a kick return. There's no way to do a kick return.
Yeah, that was a punt return that Deontay took to the house in 2019. And it was cool because I was sitting in the end zone, right? The end zone that he ran into. So he ran directly towards us.
Oh, you were at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game. I was at that game. I've been to a few games. But yeah, that was the Duck game. I had a makeshift number 6 shirt that my wife made on the Cricket machine that said Duck on it. And the crazy thing is in the parking lot and when you're walking up, there was like a tremendous amount of people handing out rubber ducks to everybody there at the game. You would have thought it was a Pittsburgh. It was a Steelers home.
There was
game.
so much hype around the Duck season, wasn't there? Until he kind of faded away, but it was pretty fun. The 3 games he played, that Charger game was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
it was a fun story. It was a fun story.
It is. It really is. If you're watching, you want to come out on the show, just give us a holler.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
He played it too, right? He played the whole duck calling thing to get the merchandise and whatnot, and he played the whole. Was he national championship? He's like a scholar your way, isn't he? In America.
Yeah. He's like like a professional duck caller. Yeah.
And he went out there and just threw the football. Like they let him have a go. Like the Charger game, he wasn't the best guy out there, but he went and threw it as best he could, and he had a chance to win the game or won the game.
Right, and he says there that as he was walking out onto the field before that game, that Mike Tomlin told him to let his nuts hang before the game. And so when I hear things like that and that type of stories about just let it all out and go out there.
They should be doing it now.
I don't. Are they not? Maybe it's the person is holding Canada's their nuts up.
Show me Matt Canada's nuts now. Show me.
I don't know. The YouTube algorithm is going to send a lot
of. I'm pretty sure he's neutered, man. I think they got cut off.
Oh, I just pictured it. This sounds bad. I just pictured his nuts with the little 2 little hats on it. Those little straw hats. That's bad.
In fact, your picturing his nuts is bad too.
Talk about Matt Canada's sack.
Well, we've been calling for it, haven't we? We've been calling for the sack for ages, so you might as well. All right, I think we're getting too far.
Manscaped, if you're interested, we would love you guys to sponsor us. Right. So, but back to this game, when you hear things of that nature, you would think that the Steelers aren't handcuffing anybody, that they're going to go out there and let loose. And I think that having a bye week not just gets these players back physically, but also mentally. And I think that's going to pay dividend, especially with a young quarterback, a rookie quarterback coming in. I think he's going to have a turnaround game. For this offense to be a successful offense, for you to think it's a successful outing outside of the obvious W, what type of performance do you need to see or points do you need to see on the board from this team? We'll start off with you, Mark. What do you need to see?
You got to see, I believe we're one of the worst teams on 3rd down conversions. Or is it defense-wise? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's getting off the field. I'd probably say 3rd down conversions. But I want to point something else out too. You said about Claypool, who's going to step up for Claypool. I kind of think now, knowing that there's no Claypool there, that Pickens has more of a all right, it's my team. You know what I mean? Mentality. You kind of have to, right? You've got DJ, you've got him, you've got Steven Sims. Who else is going to be? It's got to be Pickens. Right. And DJ, to a certain extent, is just so lost right now. I'm not even sure he wants to be a Steeler. And he might not be in the next few years. I think he's on contract 1 more year or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'd probably say you got to convert. You got to convert these first downs. And if the Matt Canada way is to get to 3rd and 2, if that's your whole system is to try and get to the 3rd and 2 and have a better chance to convert, then you got to do that. And that's running the football effectively and having momentum in the game. And of course on defense too. I think with TJ back, it's a game changer. You can take away the 1st, 2nd down, push them right back into bad territory. And hopefully if they do give a big play, it's only 11 yards, but they got to go 3rd and 15. There's a punt game. So I believe stuff like that, the fundamental stuff, don't allow them to keep converting, because Dalton can. I saw Dalton's stats coming in garbage time in a lot of games I've watched near the end, where they were passing it back in the game. He can throw the football, but They played more of like off defense. They weren't really in their face. The game was kind of over. But he can still get it done, man. He can get it done if he's not pressured. But I think with TJ being there, like just the fear factor of him on the outside, also is going to like pump up Highsmith too. There's so many things now. Bringing back TJ changes so much. Like they should be. I think it was your mate. You did a. Was it your mate I was listening to? Said he was scared. Well, no, had to be the week that TJ comes back for the Saints team.
Yeah. Yes,
That was your mate, right?
Right, yes, sir. Yeah, that was Chris Hendricks, fan of the New Orleans Saints. He stated that he said it would be the Saints' luck that the reigning defensive player of the year would come back against their team. I agreed with him. What about you, Nate? What type of offensive performance do you need to see to say, hey, you know what? This is the right step? How many points?
Well, you definitely want to see over 20. I think you definitely want to see over 20, but you definitely want to see, how do I want to word this? Like you want to see some important conversions on third down being made. You want to see the ball. Let's see some good drives. Let's see, let's not see turnovers. Let's see more of that. Let's take some shots down the field, try to connect on a couple of them. So from a point standpoint, I think if you can get over 20, yeah, that's definitely something. When you look at the previous 4 or 5 games or so, you can be like, okay, we finally got over 20 points. Like, okay, this is a game where we can do that, and this is something you want to build off of. But I think too, let's not get any interceptions. I think if you can do something of where implement some more Jaylen Warren. He's a little bit of a change of pace than Najee Harris. So let's see some productive runs a little bit. And I would like to see too, man. Let's target a little bit middle of the field more, which we haven't really done much this year, and try to take some opportunities on the outside. Because I swear I'm hearing every week that Mike Tomlin's saying, well, you know, the way they're playing defense, it limits us from taking shots. No, it doesn't. Nothing's limiting you from throwing a down the field pass. Really, nothing's limiting you. Sure, like when you see what defense they're in, stuff like that, sure, you might not send somebody down the field or something like that. But you're telling me every single time you're out there, you're not going to take a shot down the field? Like every single time you're out there, you're not going to? And you can look at the stats, look at the statistics. This team doesn't throw the ball down the field. They haven't thrown the ball down the field last 3 years, really. They haven't been successful with it. They don't really take the opportunities to do it. So let's see a little bit of that. And even if it's something of where it goes incomplete, I'd rather see you take your chances and things like that than continue to play the way all these defenses play you, because there's no threat on this offense. So you need to change that, because a guy like George Pickens can definitely be a big threat. Deontay Johnson, we know he's really good at getting separation, but this team, in terms of receivers, I'm pretty sure they're dead last in the league when it comes to yards after the catch. That's a thing that's got to change too. So sure, from what I'm saying, it might sound like a lot, but really at the end of the day, like, yeah, we shouldn't expect, like, coming off the bye week, really have all these expectations. Absolutely not. But you want to see, as a fan, even as an organization, as a team, you want to see, okay, you had a week off. You had a whole week off, and into this week against the Saints to sit there, to prepare, to game plan, to see what can we do different that we haven't done all year. And utilizing your guys in situations to their strengths and stuff like that. So let's see some of that. Let's see the ball down the field a little bit more. Let's see some more implemented of Jaylen Warren offsetting Najee Harris. You know, have them run in different situations and stuff like that. Because I don't like it when they send Najee Harris to the outside when he runs the ball. I don't. He doesn't have that speed. You know, Jaylen Warren, on the other hand, he hits right up the gut, and I like that a lot. We all know Najee Harris's problems this year. But yeah, I think if we can at least see a little bit of that, man, a little bit of shots down the field, a little bit of the middle of the field, take advantage against Saints secondary that's got a couple guys out too. I would love to see that. I really would. And sure, Kenny's got to make those plays too. He can't miss those guys that are wide open that he's missed before and stuff. So he's got to make plays on his behalf too. But get the ball in your playmakers' hands, man, and let them make some plays. Let's get some yards after the catch, because they haven't had that. They haven't had that all year.
Well, we got some breaking news, y'all. So yeah. Per Adam Schefter, Minka Fitzpatrick likely to be out multiple weeks after having an appendectomy. So he had to have the surgery. So he's going to be gone multiple weeks. Yeah, it's not just this week. That's a huge blow to the Pittsburgh Steelers
How does
defense.
that happen?
I have no idea. No idea. That just went out. That's a big blow to this defense.
TJ back. We lose Minka. So what is it? Is that pretty much his appendix, right? Is that right?
Right. Yeah, he had apparently he had some appendix pain or whatnot. There's sometimes it can be taken care of with
surgery, healing. That's a long time. That's like 4, 5, 6 weeks, mate, to even get healthy.
Yeah, exactly. And then to get back into football shape and to get back out on the field.
Do you even play Minka near the end? You just let him just rest for the whole season? That's crazy. So what? 4 weeks at least minimum. There's 9 weeks left. Who's going to be our safety then? Is it going to be DeMonte Kazi at the back? Is it Edmonds and Kazi, or do they go with Trey Norwood and use Kazi as that third guy?
I think they're going to use DeMonte Kazi there. I think Trey Norwood is probably going to play an elevated role. I know that they had elevated Elijah Reed from the practice squad to the active list. And so
bring back Sean Davis.
Oh man, no,
he was pretty good.
Who? Sean Davis? Yeah, he had his moments, man. He had some moments there where
he actually had a decent rookie year, and then he just fell off.
Yeah. I thought he was going to be a pretty good safety there for a minute, and then it just didn't work out for him.
Well, but that's too bad with Minka, man, especially when you kind of want to see this defense healthy with TJ back, kind of see what they can do. I guess it's just they just kind of gotta monitor his progress, how long it's ultimately going to be, but. This is the opportunity for DeMonte to come in and see the field and kind of see what he can do.
So we really haven't seen our full starting 11 together, really, have we? Besides the first week.
It might be until the first week of next season when we do, because this is
Miles Jack's out, corners are out, right? So this tells you how football works. You need to be more than your starters, doesn't it? You know, the longer the season gets, and people can talk about, you know, maybe they should maybe practice harder in to get themselves ready for the season. I don't know, but if he's out, then they got Terrell. Corners are going to be, who are the corners going to be?
It's going to be James Pierre and Levi Wallace and Cam Sutton working it out at the cornerback position. Yeah,
such a different team. See you later.
Such a different team to what we all thought at the start.
Yeah, it is, and it's just kind of one of those situations when it rains, it pours. Like you finally get a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and it's just fool's gold, and it's like now you're missing the biggest part of the back end of your defense. Like yeah, Zach said it best. It definitely is a disaster. But it is next man up mentality. It's a big shoes to fill. DeMonte Kazi was one that led the league in interceptions a few years back. He is ball hawking type of safety. He does get physical, does come up, and so I anticipate the Steelers seeing him quite a bit. I mean, shoot, guys, if y'all don't remember, Carl Joseph was another guy that went on season-ending IR in preseason too. So it's just been that type of year for the Steelers. It's just one step forward, 2 steps back. That's what I've been saying this entire year. It definitely feels that way. Hopefully, it's going to be tough. But, the next 4 games aren't the most daunting of games, so to speak. I think maybe the Cincinnati Bengals is probably going to be the toughest one. But them without Jamar Chase is going to be a little bit more doable, so to speak. Man, this is crazy. So does this news kind of change your outlook on the season a little bit, guys? What do you say, Mark?
Yeah, it's for a little bit. Like you get so hyped up for the start of the season, you in your mind you kind of think what the defense is going to be like. Top 10, top 5, and right now they're nothing near that. Right? TJ Watt comes back, or he gets injured, he comes back. It definitely does, and I think now more than ever you need the offense to step up. Right? Minka's the guy that he goes out there and plays hard every single time. You saw it last year with that play to the Baltimore receiver. He was running out of bounds, and Minka smacked him. You see it almost in every play where Minka is in there making the tackles and pretty much a force in the backfield. But I do have faith in Terrell Edmonds, man. I tell you what, I really do. We're lucky we have him there too, because he can set everyone up. And the young corners played pretty well against the Buccaneers, right? For when they had to step up. So there's a lot more pressure on them. And of course, having TJ Watt back now too on the edge, things should even out to where hopefully we get burnt on the big plays. As long as there's no big plays down the sidelines where there's no communication, I think it should be fine. But multiple weeks sucks because you do have a big game against the Bengals as well. And maybe some other easier games where if you have Minka, because he's a roamer, and it sucks because also what also sucks for the fans who go to the games. Like you want to go see a player, and you can't help it. But at the same time, you spend all the money. You're like, oh, I want to go see this guy, and he's not going to play. And now you got to see maybe Elijah Riley there. So these guys got to step up, man. But we've been saying this all the time, right? They just got to step up, and that's like multiple weeks. Like I thought, maybe actually I didn't know what I was going to think with him being out because appendix is pretty hard. But I still think, look, just win this game so you can give us more content to talk about.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, man.
Trying to talk about the same thing, man.
I know.
Especially coming off he having to have surgery on a Saturday so late in the week. You know what I mean? I mean, it would cut down at least one game had, something like that. You can't time it. These things happen. And it's unfortunate. What about you, Nathan? Does the remaining portion of the season, does the outlook look a little different now that Minka's probably not going to be a part of it for the next 3-4 weeks?
I don't think it, honestly, I don't think, at least in my opinion, I don't think it's really changes a lot. Yes, it sucks because he's such a big playmaker for this team. And I still think he's the best safety in the league. I think he's been that the last 3 years or so since really he came here. So yes, not having that obviously does hurt. That would be for any defense that he would be on. It's kind of the same thing with TJ Watt, like him being out obviously takes a step back, but with Minka, like this is where we see, okay, what can KZ do? Things like that. But the schedule helps. The schedule helps that Minka, the duration he's going to be out for, it does help. It does kind of lighten the load, I think, a little bit, especially some of these teams aren't down the field passing teams that they're going to be playing. So it's one of those things. It's one of those things that as a fan sucks. And like, yes, as a defense, not having that guy back there for that period of time. But I think really just I don't really think it's going to change the outcome much this year. This team's 2-6. They have a little bit of better schedule. Sure, I think that they'll string up some wins the second half. I think that they'll be a better team the second half. They can't be much worse, but I still think from a general perspective that we'll look at the second half, we'll look at the first half, we'll see the second half was better, was a lot more cleaner. But I still don't think it's not going to take them from Minka being out from here to here. Like they're already pretty low as it comes. And at least these next 3 to 4 games, they're all winnable games even without him there because you still have TJ there. Mm-hmm. You still got guys defensively that can play, but they haven't. And then at this point, it's also too wait and see how this offense can do the second half. So it's one of those things, but I don't think it's really going to make or break like really anything or ultimately change something. Now, if let's say he would be out for the year, or let's say he'd be out like 8 games or pretty much the second half of the year, then like that stuff obviously is sucks. But if he's out 3 to 4 weeks, especially with kind of the schedule they have, I think that they'll be able still to kind of hold things down and still try to win, even if some games are closer than not. But it still sucks. You still want that guy out there, man. He's still so important, this defense, man. He's such an elite player. So
for sure.
It's one of those things, bro. A lot of teams, sometimes you just kind of go through it and there's really nothing you can do. So that's when it's just, you got to come together as a team and make up for that absence the best you can. But I think just kind of the lighter load helps a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. So with that being said, guys, we're going to go into some predictions. We'll talk about the scores of the game, and then we'll leave it off on that.
Let us know your thoughts, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the chat.
Let us know in the chat. Also, if you want if you have a question for us to answer immediately, please send us a super chat, and we'll answer that as fast as possible. Now we'll get to you guys here in a few minutes. Mark, what are your predictions for this game? What do you think the score is going to be, and how do you think it's going to go down?
41-0. That's what I'm going with. Alvin Kamara's number 41-0.
So in one game, Matthew Wright is going to have more points than the rest of the team.
I've put a lot of money on the bet here in Australia, and if I win, I'm buying myself a house.
There you go.
So the odds are like 500 to 1. I thought, you know what, they can do it this week. I don't know. Jokingly, I say that, but I want to see a game where we smash them. I haven't seen that in so many years, man. The Panthers game's the last game we saw.
You can just sit back and enjoy it.
Just enjoy it, and I'll just be having beer at 5 a.m. It'd be great. You know, like everyone's having a good time.
Cooking up the omelet.
I haven't seen that for a long time. Like from 2017 or 20, whatever it was, the Panthers where they shellacked them 52 to I think 20 something.
I think it was like 7 or 13.
I was at that game.
You were?
Oh, wow.
One of the best games ever.
That was a lot of fun.
So, no, realistically speaking, I think it hurts for me to say because it's hard to say 24-21 because they won't score. It's 3 touchdowns is like, what, 21 points? You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't they do that? That's like at least 1 a quarter, at least.
That's less than 1 a quarter. There's 4 quarters, Mark.
No, I know, but like, why can't you do that? Run down the field. The first drive, you go nowhere. Okay. Oh, that'd be yuck, by the way.
Kangaroo omelet.
Kangaroo
and
so
and a Foster's.
It's like so tough and gamey. You'd be like chewing everything. You'd be finished to eat the egg so fast, and you're just stuck with kangaroo in your mouth.
Stuck with kangaroo.
Yeah, that'd be the worst, man. Like that's there's more chance I think going 41-0 than me eating kangaroo omelet. I don't mind omelet though, but how are we even having a discussion that the offense can't score 3 touchdowns a game? Or I don't understand. Like maybe every now and then, but they haven't scored what they scored. I think the receivers have 2.
Yeah, I think the Steelers trade away the last player to throw a touchdown and the last receiver to catch one. And Chase Claypool.
He's the best player we've ever had.
Freaking sad.
Or put him in. You know what they're doing? They bring him back for the Hall of Honor. Bring him back for the Hall of Honor.
He might be the Hall of Honor for this year. It's pretty bad.
They should say to him, right? They should say, hey Chase Claypool, we'll give you a multi-million-dollar contract if you can go and catch this ball 50 yards down. Versing 2 JV. What do you call your high school guys? 2 JV corners, and see if you get it. See what he won't be able to.
Oh man, he might draw a penalty. That's what he might do.
Yeah, it's true. He's good for that. Actually, he's pretty good for that. He's how many penalties he had in his life? He's good for that. But overall, I want to see this team score some points. But until they show me, it's just us sitting back and saying, "Oh my goodness, again,
yeah,
run, pass again."
Yeah, so you're saying 41-0, that's your prediction, Mark?
41-0, because then it buys me a house. Let's go.
There he goes. Let's all hope that it's 41-0. What about you, Nathan? What do you think? What is your prediction and your score for this game?
All right, so Mark's going 41-0. So I think I'm going to have to make this one a little more realistic.
What, mine isn't? Come on, man.
How many field goals will that take for Matthew Wright to get to 41 points?
Oh, man, that's like 15.
That's
15 field goals.
10 to 30. 14.
God.
14 field goals. Superstar.
Well, 41-0 would be pretty incredible. Just still sleep fest if we're just watching field goals.
What if we lost? With 42-41 because they scored 7 times? I don't know, 6 TDs.
That's what 6, 7. Yeah, 7.
7 TDs or 6?
Yeah. And they lose what
6.
on a missed field goal, on a missed extra point?
Oh, boy.
Oh, good God.
Oh, boy.
Dude, that would be horrible.
It might go overtime, 41-41. You never know.
And then a game-winning field goal.
See how we're joking? Because this season's a joke. Like, it sucks. We should be better. We should be talking about how good this team is, but it sucks. Like, I want to see him win so badly after this bye. Like, I really want to see him go out there and smash someone, but we've been saying it for so long, and they're just not doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I don't think this is going to be the game for them to smash somebody with their, teeth down their throat or anything like that. But I like, till further notice, I don't want to get ahead or make any predictions that the offense is going to do this and do that. That's a wait and see thing. We have to wait and see. Though I do think we'll see some better play from Kenny. I think that we'll see definitely some more involvement with George, with Pat Freiermuth. as we should. We'll definitely see some more Jalen Warren. Tomlin kind of said that too. So with all that being said, I like 21-17 Steelers winning. I like them winning this game, even with Minkah Fitzpatrick out. Coming off the bye week, they're at home. TJ Watt's back. That's going to bring a lot of life. That's going to bring a lot of things defensively too. Even though TJ's just coming back for his first game the last 6-7 weeks that he's been out for, or however many games he's freaking missed. 7 games, I think, right? They're 2-6, so 7 games. But still, it's exciting. It's exciting for the fans, and he's the face of this team, man. So getting him back's a big thing. It's a big thing for the defense. And I said this before on one of my shows. I'm interested and intrigued to see. We saw how good the defense played week 1. Great, just an incredible performance from them. When TJ Watt went out, this defense went complete crap, complete shambles, and they're the worst passing defense in the NFL. They haven't been able to generate any pressure on the quarterbacks. Now with TJ Watt back, let's sit back and see, okay, is this defense going to start generating pressure now? Of course it will be better with TJ there, but still, with him being out, you still have other guys there that you were relying on to do that, and there was nothing. So how much of a leap are we going to see this defense take with just a single person alone? TJ Watt, though, as great as he is, as valuable he is, still, you can't just rely on one singular person defensively to go from this defense to this defense, which that's why the defense has been a big concern for me this season, man. But nonetheless, it's exciting he's back. Should bring a lot of life, should bring at least some better defense all around for this team, whatever they do out there. I'm looking at this game. I want to see Kenny make some better throws. I want to see him make better decisions. I want to see those things that all of us are wanting to see from him, that we know that he can do, that we've seen him do in college, and we want to see that translate to here. And we haven't really been able to get a big glimpse, and it's not all of his fault. He plays from behind a lot, or having him throw the ball 45 plus times every game, and they haven't set him up in that much of a great way this year. They haven't. I'll say to this day, they botched the quarterback situation the whole season. They did, but still, Kenny got through those 4 games. Those were 4 tough games, especially 3 of those against top 10 defenses. He's got a better schedule this half, and a better schedule to work with. And that's what you want to see. And, and he plays well. You'll see the fans, he played Carolina, the Falcons. Who cares, dude? That's what you want to see a rookie, man. You want to see a rookie, beat those teams. You want to see a rookie rise above teams like that. So I'm excited to see his play. I'm excited to see what they implement with Chase Claypool out, or feeding other guys there that might have been held back a little bit because there were too many people in the room. But I'm still not going to have any expectations. Still, we kind of start seeing things, which I think is the right way for anybody to go. I don't think anybody should have expectations really on much of anything right now. You got to wait and see how this game plays out, but it's fine to kind of think or make predictions, stuff like that. But I think that it'll be better. It'll be a better ball game that we've seen recently. The defense will have some life. I think we'll see some pass rush simply because TJ's back, but that should also help some other guys. So I like 21-17, a closer game. Nothing crazy or anything like that, but hopefully it's something that we can watch and enjoy and look at and be like, okay, this is what you want to do coming off a bye week. This is a step in the right direction that we want to see, and you need to build off of that, especially going into these next handful of games that, I still think even if the records are similar and stuff like that, I still think the Steelers are a better team than a few of these other teams that are coming up and stuff like that. So it's one week at a time, one game at a time from here on out. If you're the Steelers, but those are things that I'm personally looking for. I think a lot of people are looking at things like that too going into this game, but I'm still excited. I still am. I'm not, just because this is a bad year for the Steelers, I'm not going to sit there and not watch them. Dude, football comes around 4 or 5 months a year. Exactly. This is your team you want to watch. And still, it's a young core of guys, and you need to see that growth. You need to see that development, and that makes you want to watch. And hey, if they have a strong second half, then great. And that's what we should all be hoping for.
11-0.
Sure. 11-0. That would
run the table.
Imagine though, that'd be fucking great, wouldn't it?
That would be great if they end up running the table
down the stretch. Wouldn't that be sick?
Yeah. I think so. I put my record out there before the news Minka Fitzpatrick, and a bunch of this news that's come out here recently about William Jackson. I still think that the outcome will be the same. I'm going to go ahead and give my same prediction that I had before. I think the Steelers defensively take control over this game. I still think that's the possibility here. I think the Steelers are familiar with Andy Dalton. They know his tails. They know him as a quarterback and what he likes, what he dislikes. And so I think they still can, kind of control him and contain him. Initially, I had a score of 20-9. Now with the news also Boz and all these other stuff, I think the Steelers might take, go for it on fourth down when they probably would kick a field goal and maybe perhaps have to put extra points on. So I'm thinking the Steelers, because they have to, end up scoring more and going 24-17. Steelers still win. I think without Minka, I think the 24-16. I'm sorry. I think that, I think it's 24-16. And I think that I think the Steelers still win, but 24-16, the Saints end up getting a touchdown that not normally they wouldn't. So I'm sticking with that. I want to remind everybody here in about an hour and 10 minutes, I'll be going live again. All right. We're going to be giving away 2 tickets for the Steelers versus Vegas Raiders game. That game is on Christmas Eve. That game is it's in celebration of the 50th year anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. They're going to be retiring Franco Harris's jersey at halftime. We'll be giving away 2 tickets to that game here in about an hour. So hit that subscribe button. Details and the links to enter into those contests, into that contest is in the description. So you got some time to still hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell, because you have to be present on that live here in about an hour in order to claim the tickets. We tried to give these tickets away 2 weeks ago, and the winner didn't come forward. So we're doing it this time where you have to be present on the live. So they will be given away today. With that being said, guys, any last thoughts on this week or what you want to see? We'll start off with you, Nathan, and then end it up with you, Mark. Also, let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, so you guys can follow my YouTube channel. Obviously, we all do this show together on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and we just kind of roundtable each other's YouTube channels. But all 3 of our channels, as you see next to our names, so you guys can go on there. Give me a follow. Always appreciate your support, and always like talking with you guys through the chat and stuff. And when I do my own things too, I like kind of talking with everybody there. So if you guys want to do that, listen to some of my own stuff too I put out, so we all kind of do that ourselves. Feel free to do that. I appreciate it. I think too, man, just with this game coming up, I just want to see a different ball game, man, from what we've been seeing the last 4 or 5 games. I want to see this team actually kind of get a lead a little bit. I want to really all the things I went over, man. I want to see all those things, and I'm not putting any expectations there, because then you're going to kind of disappoint yourself and stuff like that if you don't see certain things. So I think it's just kind of fair with where this team is. We have to sit back and kind of see, and then as we kind of see what they do, then we can kind of put some different expectations going in the second half maybe. But other than that, I feel like really for this upcoming game, I'm pretty comfortable with my thoughts I put out there, and I think every fan should. There's still a lot of things to look forward to this year. It's a season, it's a season that we haven't had in a long, long time, but there's still things to be excited about. There's still things to look at, and we just gotta see things finish out the rest of the way, and then what happens, and kind of see what direction the team needs to take. But I'm still excited for tomorrow's game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What about you, Mark? Let everybody know where they can find you. Any final thoughts?
You guys can find me on Steelers Nation Australia. I put the link in the chat. Not too sure if it came up. I put yours in there too, Nathan. I'm on like 917 subs. So if all 83 people in the chat right now want to go sub to that, that'd be great. Is there 83 in here?
There's 20, but that would help
you. If you guys want to make 3 fake accounts,
each,
3 different emails and go sub to me, yeah, that'd be great. There's a big storm coming over now too. I was just about to go out driving, but it looks like I'm sticking around for the Drunk Turkey show and trying to win tickets.
Yes,
I will go there, Brian, with you if I can get over there. Like I said, I'll buy you a beer or two, but that's about it because I'm pretty poor. Other than that, guys, check us out on Steel Nation Australia. Having a good time, making content, stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, my final thoughts are: is the season over?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's not over. We still got a chance. I don't care. We're still in it. They could possibly. This would be the most Tomlin thing to do: lose at the start and go on a run and win 9 games out of win 7 games out of 9, and then we'd be above, I think, 500 still, right?
Yeah.
No, wait. Yeah, we'd be above 9 and 8. That'd be the most Mike Tomlin thing ever, and it would piss off all the Tomlin haters, and I would love that. So, but reality. Another gold medal. Yeah, that's right. Oh, geez. But in reality,
get that
guys,
PlayStation ready, bro. Get that PlayStation ready.
PlayStation.
Yeah, my friend in the chat, I told him to get his PlayStation ready because we're gonna get on and play.
Oh, you're playing the old Madden, are you? You might have a better chance.
Not even Madden's ass, dude. Madden's ass.
What are you playing?
We play NBA, and then I'd play some COD, but COD's ass too. COD's been ass the last
all the games. Years. The games were better back in the day, a bit like our Steelers too, right? But I'm telling you, there's a chance we can go on a run. TJ's back, of course. He's the key. Look at the stats. He's the key. Without him, he's 1 and 10. With him, we're a million to 0. So,
we're definitely going to see the difference, man. Right when he steps in, and I know that
just the way he plays Burrow. Have you seen the way he plays Burrow? It's so funny when he plays Burrow. Joe Burrow. I mean, he hates him. He absolutely hates him.
Yeah, he does. I freaking love it.
You're going to see the difference right away when he's in, man.
Yeah, I'm excited, man, for tomorrow. And of course, now I can wake up at 5 a.m. and not 3 a.m., which is good because you guys fall backwards or something like that. I don't know what's going on.
Right. We went backwards, yeah.
I'm good, man. I'm good to go. I'll be here tomorrow looking that way going, let's go, Matt Canada.
And hopefully he has a good game. And at the end of the day, regardless of how people feel about him, he's still the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you want 100%. him to have a good day because when he has a good day, the Steelers have a good day. And so, with that being said, guys, I want to thank everybody that's been in the live chat, everybody that participated with your comments and your questions. I want to thank the folks there in the Australian pickleball tournament for giving Mark the gold and
giving. I earned that, man. I earned that. All right, it wasn't
giving.
What do you mean giving? I won those 5 games.
For Mark winning in the pickleball tournament, congratulations to the referees.
Tournament.
That's fueled me up to go out there and play today. I'm playing now. Giving
in the storm.
You don't get nothing from this, mate. You earned that. I earned all 5 games against those 65-year-olds. Yeah, I don't care who I beat, man. I'll play anyone.
He's like, he took on the senior citizen division. It's great.
Took on the nursing home.
He used his dad's ID to get in. But now,
win's a win, damn it. Win's a win.
There it is. So with that being said, guys, I want to thank everybody out there. We'll see you in about an hour to give away some tickets. Somebody's going to go see the Steelers play the Vegas Raiders.
Thank you, Brian, for
this Christmas Eve. So good luck. With that being said, guys, I'm Daniel J. This is the Unofficial Steelers Podcast. Peace.
Welcome to the Unofficial Steelers Podcast, the podcast so unofficial it doesn't have a home. Here's your host, from In Hindsight, Nathan Heintz. From Steelers Nation Australia, Mark Davidson. And from State of the Steelers, Daniel J. Here we go!